ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Courtney Smith is the latest Bahamian to ink his name on the dotted line to a minor league baseball contract. The shortstop / outfielder turned catcher signed with the Texas Rangers yesterday. The 21-year-old will head to the Dominican Republic for the team's training camp. He will join fellow Bahamian Keith Moss, who signed a few months ago. The government secondary school's best-of-3 basketball playoffs tipping off yesterday at the AF Archery Gym. In senior boys play, the C.I. Gibson Rattlers got off to a good start. They took Game 1 from the defending champion Antar Rogers Timberwolves 61-49. Terrence Storr was the top scorer for the Rattlers. He had a game-high 18 points. On to the senior girls now. The Doris Johnson Mystic Marlins also in the win column. They won over the R.M. Bailey Pacers 49-26. Tanae Bolig had a game-high 14 for the Marlins. As for the juniors, on the boys' side, D'Angelo Folks, he pumped in 25 points for the Donald Davis Royals in a 61-27 blowout win over the T.A. Thompson Scorpions. Meantime, the HONash Lions girls, they got 12 points from Galena Sands. They roared past the C.H. Reach Raptors 37-9. Taking a look now at our college ballers, DeAndre Ayton, he was his usual self last night. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 2 block shots. The 9th-ranked Arizona Wildcats clawed their way past Washington State 172. Lou Rawls Tum Nairn, he had 4 points. Number 5 Michigan State, they won 76-68 over Penn State. Nathan Bain and Stephen F. Austin, they got the best of Philip McKenzie and Houston Baptist 102-82. Bain 6 points in the win. McKenzie just 1 point there in the loss. On the ladies' side, LaShawn Higgs, she posted 7 points. The Texas Longhorns took care of Kansas 55-41. Back here at home, the New Providence Basketball Association had doubleheader action last night. In the Division II opener, the Breezes High Flyers, they flew past the Triple K Stampers 113-92. Jeremy Neely led 5 Flyers in double figures with 26 points. Dave Davis added a double-double, 19 points and 20 rebounds. Devontae Gibson had 19 points, while Brandon Stubbs and Rico Bethel, they followed with 15 and 12 respectively. For the Stampers, John Lee Noel, a game-high 31 points. Michael Turnquest had 18. Cameron Strawn also in double figures with 13. As for the Division I nightcap, the Commonwealth Bank Giants, they stomped over the University of the Bahamas Mingos 85-77. For the Giants, Michael Furley Bain, he dropped in a side-high 22 points. Deshaun Taylor, he added 13, while Teron Cox had 10. The Mingos led by Kemsey Silvestri. He had a double-double, 23 points and 10 rebounds. Justin Smith, he finished with 14 points. Ramon Dames added 13, while Justin Monroe, he followed with 10. The Luther Basketball Association also with action last night. Palmetto Point, they won both games over Lower Bogue 51-45 and Governors Harbor 44-40. Governors Harbor, they also played Lower Bogue. Governors Harbor coming out on top there, a final of 49-34. Female basketball may be on the decline here in the Bahamas, but as Kelsey Johnson tells us tonight, there are still individuals out there doing all in their power to keep the game alive.
Mention the name Anthony Swaby, and many in the sporting fraternity will automatically say basketball. The veteran coach has paced many sidelines as head coach of local and national squads. He's been around since the Burger King Angels. So exactly what keeps him in the game?
My love for helping kids. It's not about winning anymore. Most coaches, I tell most coaches they would have the coach 2 lifetime for the kind of success I've had as far as developing young players, getting players off to school. And so right now, my whole thing is still trying to work with young high school girls and getting them off into school, especially high school in the U.S. Because the game locally does not prepare kids for college, unfortunately. 6 and 8 games just won't cut it.
The number of girls you have here now in the gym, how can they develop to make sure that they get that scholarship, to further their education?
Well, it's about consistency, it's coming out and willing to work hard. My older ball players like Miss Cash and those telling me I've gotten soft. But you have to deal with girls now. The chafing and whatnot they used to take, but because they had such a love for it, I don't think the younger kids can want to go through that now.
Can we see it go back to the glory days, though?
Oh, sure. Like I said, we will be implementing some things. We're going to start having tournaments from primary, junior, and senior for the girls to get them more games.
Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Total Sports.
The Financial Bowling League had action last night at Mario's. The Moonlight Strikers blanked the Rubis Oil Stars behind a red-hot Ural Pratt Jr. He blasted the pins for a 6-31 three-game set. In the loss, Patrina Cartwright, she had a 4-71 set. Bastille Kirky Bar, they also put a blank job on our very own ZNS Hill Thrillers. Kofi Dames topping the pins for a 2-31 game. Betsy Taylor added a 1-93 game. Leno Corporate Services in the win column as well. They took care of the BTC Nighthawks 2-1. Tyrone Knowles a 2-48 game and a 5-93 set. Deloitte and Touche, they picked up a 2-1 win of their own over the Strike Force. Uchenna Delva, she had a 2-05 game and a 5-44 set. TANEISHA Murray of the Atlanta, Georgia Relays was in town last weekend. The purpose of her trip was twofold. She was here to support the Club Monica track and field meet while also promoting her own event.
It's an invitational meet, it's a top meet. We do 8 and under, we do youths, we do pros, and we also do masters. For pros for last year, we had Richard Thompson that has come to our meet, Olympian. We have Winston George from Guyana that has also come to our meet. We have Dominic Blake that have attended our meet, that is Olympian from Jamaica, that has represented Mark Burns from Trinidad and Tobago, Olympian, along with top youths that have come out of the U.S. and throughout the Caribbean. I should guarantee you all that the meet should be exciting. We already have Calabar High School. Everyone knows Calabar High School, and they will be attending the Atlanta, Georgia Relays. We have many track clubs that has record-breaking times that will be attending our meet May 26-27 right there in Atlanta, Georgia.
Heading into last week's Pure Silk Bahamas LPGA Classic, Brittany Lincecum knew she had to work on some things in order to repeat as champion, and she did just that.
My putting, especially this week, has been incredible. There's no reason why it can't keep going. You know, obviously we have a couple-week break here, which is unfortunate, but you know, I'm very determined to keep it going this year and keep the streak going. And obviously, those few little extra wedge shots that Missy is telling me I need to work on, I'll just keep working on those these off weeks. And, you know, she mentioned that I needed to lift my hands a little bit with the putter and to soul it, I think, as what she called it, a little bit better, so the ball rolled more pure. So probably just work on those two little things these next couple weeks when I'm home. And I think it's just like a fight and a hunger to want to keep doing better and keep climbing the leaderboard and just... I'm going to be more consistent.
And talking about that hunger to keep getting better, Lincecum knows at 32 years old, her time is now.
My husband and I want to start a family here soon, and I don't want to play forever. You know, I would like to be home and raise my kids. So now is the time to kind of get after it and push myself to want to be better and you know, get more wins. I would love to win multiple times in one season. I would love to win the U.S. Open. You know, there's a lot of things that I want to do before I retire.
Archery will be on full showcase this weekend at Clifford Park. Tournament action there running from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on both Saturday and Sunday.
The traditional archers, which is just basically the regular wooden bows or the recurve bows, they're going to be at a maximum of 15 yards. Okay, and the compound archers, they're going to be at a maximum of 40 yards. And each of them, they're going to be shooting at target buds, which is staggered distances between their maximum. So between the closest and the furthest, and each of those distances is going to be staggered with 10 of those targets. We were aiming for 40 so far. Pre-registration, we had about 30 archers, so hopefully we can get the remaining 10 to participate. But nevertheless, if we don't, we're still going to have quality archers to put on a good show for the public.
This weekend is all about horses as well. It all goes down at the Camperdown Equestrian Center. First up on Saturday will be their semi-annual show.
Jumpers are exciting. There's a little speed involved, a little height involved. The kids love it. The spectators love it. We'll have classes for all ages, beginning with the little tiny ones all the way up to the older kids.
As for Sunday, it's all about inter-school competition.
All the horses go into a pool. They're not allowed to ride the horse that they would normally ride. And the schools that will be participating in that are St. Andrews, Lifer Key, Windsor, and Queen's College. Last year we had Lucayan International School come, and SAC was in it, but they won't be in it this year.
Trio Athletics is a relatively new organization here in the capital. This Saturday they will host a pop-up 5-on-5 futsal tournament.
This tournament we look to have it open to any age, so we hope to have mixed teams, women, men, kids, boys, girls. The rules are, it's a small field like the size of a basketball court, and it's free play basically. The same regulations as regular soccer, where we have, instead of throw-ins, we have kick-ins, no goalkeepers.
That will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.